In recent months, there seems to be a lot more games getting the big screen spotlight for actually being really well made and enjoyable as opposed to simply being hoisted up by the big name companies. I mean, we can thank the massive developments in the indie game industry and obviously the internet for reasons masterpieces like Undertale and Stardew Valley become so vastly popular. But you know what game was really ahead of its time and didn't get as much attention as it deserved? Chibi-Robo. Chibi-Robo was released in 2006, during a time when YouTube was barely a thing, and so while the game itself was great and had quite a dedicated fandom behind it, sales for the game were mediocre at best. Anyway, the game starts off in the living room of the Sandersons, and it's Jenny's birthday, the daughter of the family. Suddenly the dad, named Dad, pulls out some device which looks like one of those candy floss machines you see at carnivals and plops them onto the table, though the mum is skeptical of how they can afford it. The next thing you know, the lights dim out and we have a mini disco party in preparation for your big entrance. As Chibi-Robo, your job and entire purpose for existing is to clean up after other people's mess and spread happiness. But hey, you couldn't do it alone, so thankfully, you have your manager and partner in crime, Telly, the television. Oh yeah, and did I mention you're about the height of a pen? Good luck maneuvering the house and climbing up basically any furniture in the house. After a short tutorial on how to pick up things and give them to people because you forgot to get them a present, you're immediately thrown into later into that night when the Sandersons have all fallen asleep, so now it's time to get to work. But this is where the game ventures away from the cleaning simulator you've been led to believe is the case up to this point. Because at night time, or at least when humans are not around, you'll come to learn that the toys literally come to life and have their own backstories and plot lines for you to help with and follow. And the toy characters you come to meet are some really eccentric folk, including but not limited to Totally Not Buzz Lightyear, Surprisingly Emotional Egg, Moldy Man, Other Moldy Man, Princess How Does She Live There, Winnie the Pooh, Leno Branding Here, and Seizure Warning. And their stories are so diverse from each other that they really stand out as characters. Whether you need to help the Free Rangers and search for their AWOL soldiers, help with some romantic desires, or just help with the maintaining of justice, it all works really nicely together to create this universe, or I guess I should just say house, of really interesting characters and scenarios. But while there are many side stories you can follow and help along with, there is, believe it or not, a main storyline to this game. Sort of. While actually cleaning up with the tools you find around the house is a thing you can do, it's very much optional. Instead, your real goal in life is discovered when you make it to the basement. There you will find the long dead corpse of your older brother and a long forgotten fifth member of the Sandersons family. Oh, don't worry though, you're a robot, so that basically translates to an older robot with low battery. During this moment, you come to learn that before Chibi-Robo was a thing, there was another line of robot servants. Coming in at a much larger size was giga-robo. The only issue was that the Sandersons didn't have the finances to support the large energy consumption that giga-robo took. So instead, he was abandoned in the basement for years. But he can be revived once more. All you need is a fresh set of batteries, the code to turn him on, and spare legs, the same as creating a human really. Cause if you haven't noticed, not only is giga-robo out of batteries, but he is also missing a leg for some untold reason. Now the leg and code can probably be found somewhere in the house after a bit of exploring. The battery, however, is the main bulk of the storyline, because in order to charge up the battery, you need to fuel it with the currency of this game, moolah. So Chibi-Robo's main goal in life is to get rich quick, and how does he do that? By cleaning up and spreading happiness. This is where the side story plotlines come in. Or you could just do what childhood me did and try and gamble all your moolah to get massive profit quickly. It's easy, just find the four-armed teapot guy in the basement at night time with the long curly moustache and then get lucky and guess whether his eye's gonna open or not this time. Did I mention this game is weird? Even still though, this brings up a bit of a controversial point about this game and many of its elements. It's quite adult. I mean sure, it's clearly a kid's game with a goofy, colourful aesthetic on the surface, but really? Gambling? 9 or 10-year-old me got very deep into that bad hole of badness. It literally got to the point where I lost 2,000 moolah and so I rage quit the game and didn't come back for a few years. Apparently I never thought to save first. Still, these more adult themes pop up more and more as you progress into multiple storylines. Sunshine the teddy bear is revealed to have a drug-like addiction to honey, which causes him to go crazy and surprisingly Asian if he doesn't get his supplements. Funky Phil has to deal with having children to suddenly look after. The Sandersons' parents begin filing a divorce. Jenny becomes hypnotized by aliens at night time. Dinah the not Lego dinosaur has to deal with a loved one's death. This game gets seriously dark and potentially too real for some people despite still being this lovable, joyous universe. But hey, look at that. Mrs. Sanderson knitted you some pajamas that you can wear. It's so cute and just look at it all. But coming off of the characters and the story, probably one of the most appealing aspects of the game is the sound design. The music for each character is so outstanding and recognizable, be it the dramatic hero of Drake Redcrest, Funky Phil's funk concert, the theme of cooking burgers, or Sunshine's cuddly theme of childlike peachiness. But on top of that, just the sound effects of the game are pleasant because every movement Chibi-Robo makes causes some additional sound. Brushing dirt away from the carpet, have a guitar plucking away. Jump onto a block, we got an instrument for that. And even your specific footsteps have instruments playing, and they change depending on what material you're walking on. And as you progress through the game, more things become available to you. More exploring means more tools you can use for more tasks, or more upgrades to your battery means you can move around for longer without needing to recharge at a plug. More suits become available to allow you to gain more abilities like skip to the next day or night, or talk to animals. Or die! But then what about all these stories and problems that you come to? Sure, some toys have relationship issues, but what's going on with the Sandersons' finance issues? Or the divorce? What about these warnings about spiders that supposedly attack Chibi-Robos? What about the global energy consumption issues the world is facing? Can a tiny robot fix all the world's problems? A lot rests on the little shoulders of Chibi-Robo, but with just the right tools and the right friends by his side like Telly the Telly, maybe Chibi-Robo will create a happy ending for everyone on this carpet-cleaning, bullet-dodging, life-reviving, justice-prevailing, ship-digging, curse-curing, crew-building, war-training, divorce-stopping, thread-annihilating, romance-causing, addiction-halting, disco-dancing, burger-cooking, sink-searching, kid-supporting, car-driving, saucer-flying, death-dealing, bird-feeding, time-traveling, leg-finding, happiness-spreading adventure. I would tell you the rest of everything this game has to offer, but I've already talked about it long enough, and there's a lot of weird extra stuff that makes this video way too long. Eggplant, for example. So overall, I would say that Chibi-Robo is an outstanding and criminally unknown game that absolutely deserves more attention. I'm throwing the complicated rating system away and just saying that I would rate Chibi-Robo as a 9 out of 10. It's not perfect, there are the occasional glitches and some complaints about the graphics, but for what it is, Chibi-Robo is a damn good game. Now with that being said, I highly encourage you to buy the game yourself if you don't have it already. Good luck getting like 60 quid for the stuff, it's rare. Or if you can't be bothered to do that, then why not check out my full Let's Play of the game over on my other channel, Daz Let's Plays. Not only does it show 100% of the game, but I've added in a little extra stuff to give it a little extra spice, shall we say. So I hope to see you over there. Plus, I personally think it's one of the best LPs I've ever done, so yeah. You can also check out my Twitter for the occasional update on what's happening video-wise at DazzReviews. But anyway, that's my new reviewy video. Tell me what you thought of it. Otherwise, for now, my name's been Daz, you didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit. Also, the Sandersons don't poop, there is no bathroom in this entire house. What's up with that? It's probably the weirdest thing in this game.